Welcome to Portable Entrepreneur. My name is Christine, and today I want to help highlight the key differences between a digital marketing entrepreneur who is earning $2,000 a month compared to one that is earning $20,000 a month. So if you are feeling like you're spinning your wheels, you're constantly trying to find new clients, you have inconsistent income, and no matter what you do, you can't seem to get to the next level, then this is really going to help you. And it's often when we feel like we're more on this side of things, it feels like everyone who's on this side just has this secret that we can't seem to find. They just get something that we don't. They maybe have more money, or there's bigger things that they're doing that we're not. And in my experience, there's often really just some smaller tweaks to the things that we think, the things that we are actually doing, how we are presenting in our business that are going to get us from this side of the track to this side of the track. So I want to help you bridge that gap so you can start implementing some of these things and you're going to start seeing a difference in your business. Now, before I jump into some of these key differences, I do want to note the numbers here. The numbers actually don't really matter. So if you are earning $500 a month or $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, but you feel like you're on this side of things because you really have the goal here of $5, $10, $20 and beyond $1,000 per month, then it's going to be the same differences, the same shifts that you need to start to make in your business to be able to see that difference, to see that traction. So we're going to start off on this side. We're going to be looking at what are some of the things that a $2,000 per month digital marketing entrepreneur is doing in their business. So starting off, they are looking at more individual projects. So this is very much, where's my next project coming from? As soon as one finishes up, they're looking, where are they going to find that next project? So one after the other, after the other. And this is where more inconsistent projects are happening, more inconsistent revenue. And there's not really a plan for how we're getting more projects in. We're not sure where these clients are coming from. So we're a little bit hopeful. Hopefully somebody calls the number I have on the site or fills out the form, or hopefully this project that I just wrapped up, this person will have another project for me, or maybe they'll have a referral and they'll be able to send me someone else that I can do a job for. Now, we are also looking at price based on service. This is where we really try to quantify our service. So let's use web design as an example. Someone is coming in, they want a website. And so we say, okay, great. Well, I can give you 5 pages. I can give you 1 form. And we start listing out the different elements of a website. And based on the quantity of those different features, that is how much we're going to charge the client. So that's where we get thrown off on price, because then we're telling the client, well, if you want more or less of that quantity, well, then you can start to negotiate here on the price here that will fluctuate. And so it gets a little bit harder when we are pricing just based on the service that we are selling, no matter what it is. It could be Facebook ads, it could be email marketing, we're helping with SEO and so on. Now, we also have no funnel. And when we have no funnel, this is where we are not gathering in leads. We are not nurturing them. We're not keeping leads warm so that when we have availability, we have warm leads to go to. So this means we are relying on outreach. So we are doing cold emailing, cold calling. We might be dropping in on businesses. And don't get me wrong, that can be very effective. And sometimes at the beginning, when you're on this side of things, that's where you just need to start, and you can absolutely get results doing that. The problem is we have to shift from some of the short-term thinking to some of the long-term thinking. So when I pull myself out of outreach, then what? Now it's all leads are going to stop. So there's no funnel in place to kind of keep things going, because not everyone is going to say yes right away, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to say yes to you later. But if you have no funnel that they're going through, they don't have that opportunity to say yes to you later if they weren't ready during that initial contact. So not really having a plan for how these leads are coming in, and for that funnel to be working for you even when you're not working on lead generation actively. Now, also a lot of people, and again, this is okay if you are just starting and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, she's talking about me, all these things are me, I'm doing these things. We all have started here. All of us. Nobody gets to this side without starting at this side. So don't beat yourself up if any of this that I'm talking about over here is starting to sound familiar. You're right where you need to be at this moment, and you're going to be able to choose to start picking one thing and start doing something a little bit differently in your business to get yourself to that other side. So it's okay if some of this is recognizable to you in your business. So the next one is portfolio of images. And so a lot of times what we do is we take our, let's say for web design again as an example, we are taking a screenshot of maybe the before of a website, and then we are screenshotting our new design to show how much better looking it is. But again, we're just focusing solely on the service that we are providing, and that is truly the offer that we have. And so we get a little bit stuck in that. And so if we're doing just screenshots, it is a start. And again, that's probably where we're going to start at the beginning of things, but we need to be looking long-term and what we're really trying to get to here. Now, we also provide service. Now you might be thinking, yeah, well, everybody has to provide a service in order to get paid. Of course. But this could be a service, again, email marketing, web design, SEO, paid ads. There's all kinds of digital marketing services that you can provide here. But when we are focusing on service, that becomes our offer. And when that is our offer, that is how we present to clients. This is what we are writing about on our business website. This is what we are including in emails, our proposals. This is how, most importantly, we are talking to clients, or potential clients, I should say, about this service. And all of our focus is on that service being our offer. And so we have to shift how we are presenting that to our potential clients here. Now, we also deliver a website, or you could deliver a Facebook ad. You could deliver a batch of emails to a client. But again, that's focusing on the service, and we're just delivering that thing that we quantified, a certain number of emails, a certain number of ads run, a certain number of pages on a website, and that is the delivery. Now, both sides, of course, you are delivering a service. That is what you are essentially offering. However, as we're going to talk about, it's actually the vehicle. And I'll explain more about what I mean by that in a minute here. Now, this individual here, this entrepreneur, is also wearing all hats, okay? All hats. And this could be because we feel like I don't have a big enough business to really bring in any help just yet. I don't have enough clients to really be able to justify asking others to help. And so we wear all hats. This means that if a client comes in, we have a project, we are handling every aspect of that project. If there's something we get stuck on, that might take someone else who actually understands the problem 10 minutes to do, 30 minutes to do, an hour to do, we might think, oh, I could figure this out in 30 minutes and sit down and try to do it. And here we are 3, 4, 5 hours later, still trying to figure out what that problem is. But we just lost a massive amount of time. But because we wear all hats and we assume all roles, we have to do it. And so that's one of the roles, is figuring everything out, being tech support, being customer support, being able to send out invoices, being able to send proposals, handling lead generation, handling the outreach, in every aspect of the project. And so we get a bit stuck in the day-to-day because we've decided that we are going to be wearing all hats. And lastly, on this side that we're going to talk about is the idea of thinking small. And sometimes this is because we're not sure how to get from this side to this side. We are not really sure or believe that we can get from this side to this side. So we tend to think small. Okay, well, I'm at $500 a month. How can I just get to 1,000? Versus taking a step back and looking at, well, how can I plan bigger? How can I make it bigger so that I can get to this $10,000 point? How can I get to this $20,000 a month point and plan for that? I may not have all the answers. I might not know how, but I'm not gonna think small. I'm gonna think big, and I'm gonna work on this, and these answers are gonna start to appear as I start building this momentum. And so We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute as we look at this side a little bit more and making that shift to thinking bigger. But let's talk about this $20,000 a month entrepreneur here and what they're thinking. So here we were looking at one-off projects, right? But now we are looking at recurring revenue. So this is what somebody in this column is thinking about. And the reason they're thinking about recurring work is a couple of reasons. One, the biggest business reason for you is that you have recurring income in your business. So if you wrap up a one-off project, well, you're not starting at ground zero because you have put recurring work, recurring income on the table for your business. You now have this available, so you have income to fall back on while you still work on bringing in some additional clients, some additional projects for you. And I will say a lot of the difference here is going from thinking very short term to thinking long term. So you're going to notice that kind of theme as we go. Over here, we almost feel like we're scrambling. Got to get a client, got to get a client, got to get somebody in here, just got to get this income, come on. And so we look for what is quickest, what is fastest, and we get distracted by some of these Instagram reel type success stories. Oh, let me just do that real quick. Oh, let me just do this. Because we're looking for whatever is the fastest. But fastest doesn't always equal what is most successful or what's going to be most successful or be best for the business long term. Because this is short term thinking over here, where we're looking for those immediate results without planning ahead for some of the long term. And sometimes it's hard to plan for the long term because we're wearing all hats and we just don't have the time. Because a lot of times when you're on this side, you're working a 9-to-5, you're working a full-time job, trying to build up the income so you don't have to do that anymore. So it does require absolutely the planning. But recurring revenue is incredibly important, so you're not starting from zero. So especially if you want to transition out of that 9-to-5 job, that full-time job, then you got to be able to start putting recurring revenue in place. And I've talked about a lot of options for recurring revenue, how to set that up, how to get clients, even if they're coming to you for a one-time service like building a new website, a redesign, how to make that a recurring revenue source for your business, because it's helpful for your business, of course, but that's how you're truly going to get the value for your clients as well, being able to work with them on an ongoing basis. Now here, we're also going from just pricing on service, where we're quantifying everything, to pricing on value. This is so incredibly important. It doesn't matter on your invoice how many pages are going on a website. It matters how much value are you bringing to the table. And this I find far easier to calculate an actual price than it is to quantify a service and then create a price based on that. So with a value, we're actually looking at what is this going to do for the business? How much revenue is this going to bring in? How many leads is this going to bring in? How much are those leads actually worth? Because when we can start to quantify that, we can present that to the client. And no longer are we saying, do you want 5 pages? We're saying, no. Do you want 5 new leads? And that is an entirely different conversation. So anybody can deliver 5 pages, but not necessarily everybody can deliver 5 leads. And so it really helps you present differently, and it's going to help you price better because they're going to see that they're going to get more value out of that service than what they're actually paying for. So that's incredibly important that you present the pricing in that way. Now, these entrepreneurs here are also focusing on warm leads. So again, this is the short term versus the long term. So this is not only how can I get a lead right now and that lead is going to say yes to me right now. This is how can I, on a continuous basis, build up warm leads in my business? How can I continue to keep them warm? Because I recognize that not all of them are going to come to me and immediately be ready right now. I'm going to have leads that are going to come and they're not going to ever work with me. I'm going to have leads that are going to come and be ready to work immediately. And there's going to be leads, a lot of leads that are in the middle where they're interested. I have their attention. They're paying attention. They want to see more what I'm about and what value I can really bring, but they're not ready right this moment. And so this person is focusing, how can I keep these leads warm? And how can I have this continuous pool of leads coming in so I can continue to nurture them until they're ready? Now, part of this is they are also building a portfolio of case studies. So we're not just doing a screenshot of our work. We're actually saying, hey, we worked with this company. When they came to us, this is where they were at. They were dealing with these issues, and this is really what they hoped. This is where they wanted to get to. So we decided to apply these strategies, and when we did, this is the result that they received. So they were at point A, they decided to work with us like you're thinking about doing, and now they ended up with being at point B, and we helped them make that transition. So that's where it's very different to present with case studies versus just putting up an image, because you're just showing off your service, where a case study is going to help you demonstrate your value. Now, where this side was focusing on providing a service, this side is going to be focused on solving the client's problem. So you see, this is where I was saying there's the tweaks in how you present. So if you're coming to a person and say, yes, I design websites, I do SEO, I can build you some links, I can help you create some content for your website, I can optimize that content for you. You are talking about the service, and while these are the things that you're going to do, if your conversation is not around the results that they are looking for, it's going to be a much harder sell. And I talk about this here a lot. If you are talking to a client and saying, well, let's apply this strategy because I believe that this is what's going to help you get more leads, customers, and sales in your business, that's a very different focus than let me build you 5 backlinks. Let me get you some pieces of content or 5 new pages on your website. See, everyone can do those things, but not everyone, again, is going to be able to help them get leads, customers, and sales. But that is what these guys are focusing on. That is why they get paid more, because not only are they speaking to what the client needs, I need more leads, customers, and sales coming into the business. There are then case studies focused on the more leads, customers, and sales that they brought into a prior client. They are then able to price based on that value. Let's look at what these leads will do for your business, how this is going to help grow your revenue, how this is going to help you have more consistency in your income as well. So it completely changes the conversations that you are having with these clients, you see. Here we are delivering on results. So we're not just saying, hey, here's your 5-page website, it's redesigned. We're again looking at those results. You may now have a 5-page website, but what is that 5-page website doing for you in your business? Is it helping to generate new leads? Are you starting to see more sales coming in? So making sure that that website is a profitable website for them is really crucial to their success, but it is crucial to your success in your business. And the more that you go from just focusing on this quantifiable service that you are providing to one where you're quantifying leads, you're quantifying revenue that this website is generating, your conversations are totally different with clients. Now here, we're also going from being the person who is wearing all the hats. They're handling all the day-to-day. They're handling lead generation, marketing, everything going on in business, to being on this side of things where we are focusing on the revenue generating tasks. See, a lot of us get into business because we are good or we're trying to get good at a certain service, web design, SEO, paid ads, all those things I've been mentioning. But we get bogged down in then providing the service, or we do business because that's what's fun for us. But then we shy away from the things that actually grow our business. So we're not focusing on marketing. We're not focusing on lead generation and getting the word out there and really putting ourselves in front of our target audience. So if you are not intentionally scheduling time every single week where you are focusing on the revenue generating tasks, you're not going to get from this side of the track to this side. It's really impossible to do because you're not focusing on the tasks that are going to bring in revenue. So if you aren't dedicating intentional time with intentional tasks that are going to help you generate those leads and start not just looking for the next client, but actually building out a funnel, which isn't as hard as it seems or as it sounds, but building a funnel that is going to attract leads in even when you're not actively working on it, And that's, of course, long term, once you set things up and everything, and you have those warm leads coming in, then you're not going to be able to build a business like this. So if you don't have that time on your calendar right now, go put that time on your calendar right now. Otherwise, you will get bogged down with client work all the time. You will not see a need to start asking other people for help. So you will start just doing everything and wearing all hats. And the first thing that you will let slip is your business and focusing on those revenue generating tasks that you need to for your own business. And then we end up wondering, well, why am I not here? So this is where we have to start thinking big. First, we have to plan. No, I'm not going to be stuck here. I'm going to get over here. And the way that we do that, because like I said at the beginning of this, everyone starts here. So if you see that 3, 4, 5 of these things apply to you, or the whole list applies to you, don't beat yourself up because nobody started over here. Nobody. We all start over here. And so if you are seeing these things, what I want to challenge you to do is pick one thing and plan on working on that for the next 30, 60, 90 days. Even in Next Level, that is what I do. I have 90-day success paths. And the reason for that is because we have to have the dedicated time, especially if we are working a full-time job and we're kind of stuck over here. We need those 90 days to go all in, to give it everything we got, to learn what we need to know, to set up the systems, have time for it to actually test and see what's working, what's not working, so that we can tweak it as we start working on this. And we take it section by section. Because we can't say, well, I'm going to build out a great portfolio. At the same time, I'm going to make an awesome lead generation funnel. And I'm going to start warming up these leads. And I'm going to start learning this skill of how to be able to build more leads and customers for my clients. So we can't do all of those things right now and do them all really well. You'll end up trying to do them all really well. You'll get completely overwhelmed and you'll stay stuck over here. So my recommendation to you is to slow down. I know we live in this world where it's like, go, 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 hustle, 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 do it all right now. But we have to, and realistically, take it a step at a time. Start here. You pick one thing that you're going to work on, and you give yourself enough time to truly see that out, to truly do a good job of it. And then you will continue to build your business one step at a time and do one thing at a time. And that's it. So if you're looking for something super quick to get you from one side to the other, I can't give you that Instagram reel and tell you. I'd be lying if I'm going to tell you you're going to get from this side to this side. Just, bust your butt and do things like this for a week, 2 weeks, and you'll be there. You have to put in the time and you have to put it in consistently. And you have to pick one thing and dedicate your time and attention to it. But then it will happen. You will start to see it. And all the people who are scrambling for those quick fixes, they'll still be scrambling as you're bypassing them because you stayed consistent to the one thing that you were working on and before you moved on to the next. So that's what I have for you. This is really the shifts that you need to make to go from this $2,000 a month digital marketing entrepreneur into being a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month entrepreneur. These are some of the shifts that you need to make, and one will just start to build on the other. So I hope that this was helpful for you. If you want to talk it out, you have questions, comments, let me know down in the comments below. I would also love to hear what is the one thing that you chose from this side to dedicate the next 30 to 90 days focusing on so that you can start taking your business to the next level. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.